So welcome. So what we're going to do tonight is going to be our first, probably annual Allasso's favorite things. Now, when I first came up with this original idea, people said I was copying Oprah. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I am from Chicago, but I have never seen Oprah. Then people said I was also copying, what's the movie?
Sound of Music?
Sound of Music, yeah. Whereas these are a few of my favorite things. Again, I've never seen that movie, so I guess this is, in my own head, this is my own original thought. So welcome. This is really, really cool. So you guys know me, and you know my wife and my daughter and Katie. And you know that we always try to be totally congruent with what comes out of our mouths, right? So our lives are a direct reflection of just that. And it's the only way that I found over the years to help inspire and instill value into helping people get healthier. And so with all that said, there's always going to be some knickknacks and things and gadgets that come along with that. That's the fun part, right? So that's what today's workshop's all about, okay? We are going to have some special treats here. You guys want to serve our guests some wine? Katie, if you want.
Like some wine? Sure.
So we've got some special organic wine that is our favorite. Okay. So right off the bat, we're going to be talking about different categories, okay? The first one is going to be called nourishing your body, all right? And so nourishing your body is going to basically talk about a lot of gadgets and a lot of things that we need to do to feed ourselves, right? The first one I just grew to love in the past couple, like 2 months. My wife and I are big water infusers. If water could be infused with anything and everything, you know, we're all about it. And so what I came across was this really amazing water bottle that actually has an infuser. Hey guys.
Hi, we just got started. Come on.
It actually has an infuser at the very bottom. So literally all you do is you turn it over, unscrew it, and throw in, you know, I have right inside here tonight lemon, I have some ginger, and I have some turmeric. And all day long, what I'm drinking is basically an anti-inflammatory water tonic is what I found.
It's just sitting there, or there's some process there, or it's just sitting
nothing.
there?
It's just sitting in the bottom, and so basically it's just infused in the bottom. And so every time you refill it again and again and again and again, it's just seeping into your water. So that's
fusion.
Yeah, infuser. Yeah. So this is called a MIU color. Water bottle. They're like $30 on Amazon. They're awesome. They're totally worth it. They're glass, so there's no plastic leakage into your water or anything like that. If you know me at all, you guys kind of knew by now. You know that I think about every edge of how it can affect your health, and that's one thing that I always want to stress.
Claudia, is that your gown?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, next one. Smoothies, right? You guys know that we love smoothies here too. Okay, who makes smoothies in this room? Lydia, I know you do. Claudia, you making smoothies yet? Are you?
Well, I bought the Olympic soap.
Did you?
Yeah,
All right.
Neutral. Yeah, I do have it.
Good purchase.
And I did, get it, and I was excited. And I made a lot of juices, and then it went on the shelf. Now I'm gonna start it back.
Right on. Very good. Very good. Well,
every day.
Awesome.
Twice a day?
Wow, twice a day.
Awesome. So climb up to that shelf and dust that off, and that's going to be a good start. Okay. So one of the things that with smoothies, I always recommend. Smoothies are very honestly intimidating because everybody has maybe like 1 or 2 recipes that they go to, and then once those 2 recipes are done and they get sick of them, they don't know what to do, and then it goes on the shelf. And so
that's exactly what happened.
what I always recommend is a great book to go off of. Okay, and one of the books that I always recommend is something called The Best Green Drinks Ever. I was at Logan flying out one day, and I found that that was just the girl who wrote it. She's a nutritionist out of New York, and I agree with 99% of everything she puts in there. It's phenomenal, and it's really creative. Things like beets and persimmons and kale and cilantro and all kinds of cool things that actually are very tasty. We tried most of them, right?
If you put a couple drops of agave there, everything.
A
couple of drops of agave.
Yeah. You throw a little bit of vodka in there too.
Strawberry flavored.
That's right. What I found also is that as far as protein's concerned, one of the things that I always love is to make it more filling, and so protein's a great source of that. I do always turn people away from whey protein. Whey protein in itself, it's a dairy protein, and so it does cause inflammation and it makes things worse. So this protein powder here is basically, it's a vegan protein. It's made up of cranberries, hemp, and and pea protein, which is
And what's the thing?
green peas. Peas, yeah. It's actually a very high source of protein, all three of those, and it does create muscle mass, but it also is the essential blocks of what your body needs. Meg, you can pull up a chair over here.
There's one right here.
Or I'm sorry, right along. That's
Okay,
fine.
I could.
You're not filming this, sorry.
Yeah, don't worry about it. And so the last one is going to be something called Green Vibrant. Again, what this is just it's kind of our multivitamin, or our double multivitamin. Basically, what it is just a boatload of just incredible organic nutrients, organic sprouts and vegetables and fruits and all kinds of things. It's really great. It's like $25, I believe, but it's definitely well worth it. It's powdered, yeah. It also has probiotics built within it. So every single day, this little monkey gets her probiotics by doing that.
Is this?
That's all on there too.
Okay.
Yeah, everything we present tonight is on that handout. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll get you guys some hands.
Oh, okay. The next one is supplements. You guys know that I'm never ever gonna preach supplements to you unless they're absolutely necessary. And so what I found over the years is that these four are absolutely the most necessary ones. Supplements are called supplements for a reason. They're meant to supplement your diet. And so you need to start off with just a killer foundation of a diet, and then supplement with these things. Not even just these products, but these things. What I found as far as these things are concerned, one of the best makers are a brand called Innate Choice. As far as vitamin sufficiency, that's our multivitamin. Again, that's just all organic fruits and vegetables, and that's how we pick up on anything that we're lacking in our diet that day. Probiotics are hugely important. I can't stress that enough. Probiotics, 85% of your whole immune system is located in your GI tract, in your small and large intestine. And so if those probiotics are missing, which literally almost every single person in America and almost the entire Western world is, then we need to make sure that we intentionally supplement with that. Okay.
I always read the book The Brain Maker, and they said the probiotic is the brain maker.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
They
is
even like a pen.
just, you can't even emphasize.
Yeah, it's true. The thing of it is human beings we're meant to be healthy in communion with bacteria around us, and so that's exactly what that means. Vitamin D is essential. It's something that it's funny because it tends to be kind of a fad now. You hear a lot of medical doctors recommending vitamin D, but they're not sure why.
Yeah.
And so what I always recommend is vitamin D3. It's your body makes it, but it makes it when you're in the sun. Now we live in New England. We live in New England in the winter, so we're not making too much vitamin D these days. And so what I always recommend is, especially during the fall and winter, but definitely, even in the summer, supplement with at least 7,000 to 10,000 IUs. The quantity doesn't matter tonight, but you know that vitamin D is important. Okay. And then finally, fish oil. Fish oil is, again, essential. It's something that basically your body and your brain literally are built off of, are these omega-3 fatty acids. Without these omega-3s, without these good healthy fats, everything is going to suffer. You're going to be more inflamed. Your brain's not going to be functioning properly. And just as your cells roll over and create new cells, which they always are, they're not going to be as healthy as they should and need to be. Okay. I'm going too fast. Slow me down. But I've got a lot of fun stuff to work out tonight for you guys. All right, markets. What else do we put in our bodies? Well, obviously, you guys have heard of a small little corner shop called Whole Foods, right? Whole Foods is where it's my haven on the weekends. It's always I hang out there. But these little gems are little local markets that again do the same thing. They're typically all organic, natural, local foods. We live down in West Roxbury, Rosendale, so these are actually in JP. Harvest Co-op is a great one. It's actually a little co-op market that is all local stuff. It's owned by local. It's owned by the customers themselves, and so it's a great thing to continue to support because again with the shares that actually share the profits at the end of the year. So it's
I find that those are lacking around here.
Yeah, they totally are. Hey, Mark. So City Feed and Supply, same thing. Just an awesome organic little market. They've got a lot of great stuff there. Check it out. All right. Next is nourishing your mind. All right. Let's start off with apps. So one of the coolest things I ever came across is something called Brainwave. You guys ever hear of Brainwave? Brainwave app? No. So what the Brainwave app does is it actually It's brilliant. So what it is it's an app that actually it actually mimics the brain waves, the brain patterns that your brain is actually eliciting when your body is doing certain things. So say you want to focus, and in an ideal situation, somebody who's really who's really focused, their brain waves are making certain patterns. What it does is it mimics that and actually tunes that into like to the sound of of waves crashing along the shore. And so basically what that does is your brain waves sync up with that, and now you're focusing along with that. And so it's kind of a subconscious tool to help either focus or relax, or they've all got all kinds of different functions on that. It's actually one of my favorites. Audible, you guys know audible.com? Okay. So Audible is a resource. It's phenomenal. It's literally, you pay like $7 a month, but you get literally just as many books as you need. It's like 1 credit per month. And it's basically just a bunch of audiobooks, and you just tune in. I'm always trying to find ways to absorb more information. I'm always looking out to absorb more so I can help teach. And Audible is a great resource. It's a new book literally every single month. You download it, it's on your phone, and you just listen to it as you're working out or walking or cooking or whatever it is. It's great. It's great.
That's all healthy book?
It's whatever you want.
Oh.
It's kind of like Amazon or any like Barnes and Nobles or.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, but it's all audio. Yeah, it's great. It's a subscription.
So the audio bookstore.
It's an audio book
mean,
online. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a virtual store.
Okay.
It's in the internet. Text Neck Indicator. This is a cool one. This was actually developed by a chiropractor. And unfortunately, it's not available on iPhones or any Apple iPhones, but it is available on Androids, I guess. And what it is basically, I'm always after everybody to get their head down and put their iPads and put their phones up. And what this actually doesn't allow you to do is once your phone is below a certain point, it actually won't let you text or do anything. It'll have a little red dot on the screen, and it won't let you do anything until you bring it up. And now it has a green dot, and now you can start to text.
Well, how come nobody's never put that on TV and do that? Should show worldwide.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This guy I think was on Taco House or whatever it is, but
It's the doctors.
Is it just indicator? You have to hold it by yourself. It's not a support.
no.
No, you have to
Oh.
hold it. It uses the whatever the sensor is inside the phone, the positioning sensor, and once it falls past a certain angle, so if you're like this, it'll essentially lock the phone, and you have
That should
to.
come with every phone.
It
Yeah,
should.
right.
It
Yeah,
should.
they should.
And there's like a little red dot in the corner that lets you know like you're at the
When
wrong
you're right,
angle,
when you-
and it turns green when you're at the correct angle. Yeah.
Right now, the guy, the creator, is in the process of approving it for Apple phones. So stay tuned for that one. Katie warned me or alarmed me of the next one. It's called Map My Run. Katie, you want to take that one?
It's basically they have a Map My Run and Map My Ride. So it's essentially just a GPS for your phone. So you set it for whatever activity you're doing. I like to use it when I go for long walks. And you set it, and it will actually track your whole your map. It'll map out your whole walk. And then you can go through and you can look and you can see how many calories you burned and what elevations you changed and how long. And it'll let you know your pace. There's even a place for you to select what type of shoes you're wearing, and it'll count the miles that you put on your shoes, and it'll let you know when you need a new pair. So it has, I thought that was pretty cool. So it has a lot of different features, and of course there's always like the pay option where you have extra fun features. But I really like it because you can also look at it online, and it'll show you an actual map outlined of where you went, and you can see other people who've done the same route, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's funny, on my walking routine,
Wow,
I see it.
Yeah, it's on the phone, yeah. Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
When I hold it and I walk around the house, the map is like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Katie. So I had to hold myself back from this one. I had to see how many books I can put inside one little bubble, and this is just some of my favorite. Of course, just like you guys, you have a brand new book every week or month or whatever. And so these are some of my favorites over the years that I've really just kind of culminated. One of my favorites altogether is this one right at the top here, which is also this guy. He's Dr. James Chestnut. The book is called The Wellness Prevention Paradigm. So much of what we talk about in this practice comes from the same thought process that Dr. Chestnut talks about, right? So everything that we talk about as far as any push to have a health goal needs to be met with basically the viewpoint of you need to be healthy and not just palliate a symptom comes from basically more of a process or knowledge of what this gentleman talks about. He's brilliant. He's a PhD biological researcher as well as a chiropractor. He's up in Victoria, Canada, and he's just brilliant. So I really urge you to pick this one up. It's awesome, and it makes so much sense. You know, I'm always striving to make just easy, common sense out of big, supposedly complicated ideas. It's so easy, and it makes so much sense for the way that he breaks it down. I'd recommend that. Okay?
What's his last name again?
Chestnut, like Chestnut Street.
I've heard of him.
The Chestnut, yeah.
Yeah.
So this next one, Well-Adjusted Babies. This has been called the modern day pediatric or parenting Bible. Her name is Dr. Jennifer Floriani out of Australia. She's awesome. She is brilliant. Her and her husband run just a huge killer practice down in Melbourne. And it's all about raising healthy kids in a well, holistic type of a manner. It's again everything we talk about here.
Just came out, or?
No, it's been out for a number of years, but this is an awesome.
That's what would be Dr. Spock back in the day when we were growing up. Wasn't there Dr. Spock or something?
The
So the next one, I know we don't have a lot of new parents in this room or anything, but the vaccine book, that's a huge important one that Leah found, and I found very valuable. He's Dr. Sears. Dr. Sears is actually a very big pediatrician. This is his son. But he talks all about what's in a vaccine, you know, the likelihood of getting whatever virus or illness it is, the alternatives. He's actually a holistic medical doctor. Compound effect, Darren Hardy. This guy's awesome. He actually talks about how doing the small things in life add up to achieving big success. It's all about daily repetitive small behaviors that actually cause big profound compound effects within your life. It's a short read and it's very easy. It's a great one to have. Make Your Life Extraordinary, Dr. Guy Reekman. He's kind of an icon in the chiropractic profession. But he's just very brilliant as far as, again, how he makes sense of achieving health and ultimately achieving your life purpose too. And this is just, again, a very easy read. The On Purpose Person, same thing. This is just a classic, actually. Kevin McCarthy wrote this years ago, and it's literally all about how to find your life purpose. Killing Sacred Cows. You guys will like this one. This has nothing to do with health, but has everything to do with your finances. Okay. He's somebody who is a New York Times bestseller. He's been on all the major talk shows and radio shows and everything else. He's brilliant. He's actually somebody who actually challenges all the innate the wisdom of forming an IRA and kind of giving the government your money so that you can get it back later on, with the huge deduction and from taxes and such. He's brilliant, and so it's a great thing to actually invest it in. Again, it's not so much of an easy read, the first chapter. But the rest of the pages just make a lot of sense.
I think it's 10 myths.
Yeah.
Garrett Gunderson is his name. I don't know if you've heard of him before.
It's a great one. Yeah. The Holy Bible, honestly, whether you're Christian, if you're Jewish, go back to the spiritual guidance of whatever faith you follow. What is very well documented is that the healthiest people in this world also have a very profound, strong spiritual cornerstone. And so, everybody, it's funny, I talk to hundreds of people every single week, sitting in my adjusting chair. And one of the things that, is always very shocking to me and very, is glaring in my face is that the ones who have the most confusion in life are the ones who don't have the spiritual grounding. And that if that was the case, then a lot of other things in life would actually not be as big of a situation. And I found that time and time again over all my years. Okay. So that's the last one. Spark Planner. This is Katie's discovery. Katie?
So it started as a Kickstarter, and I actually brought mine in so everybody can see it. And I kind of found it on Facebook, as people tend to do with Kickstarters. But it's basically a journal / planner, but the person who came up with it was looking for a notebook that you can record your day-to-day activities, and it can also help you to really guide your goals and your successes for the year. So basically, you set it up. I, of course, took advantage of my multicolored pens. So basically, it gives you the opportunity to really brainstorm about what you want to accomplish in your year. and it lays everything out in a really clear and guided way so that you can, I didn't get it till February, so there's a lot of blank pages, but
Failure.
I know. Let's see, where are they? So it basically kind of just gives you the opportunity to really lay out what you want to accomplish, and it breaks it down in a way that is really accessible. And for me, one of the things I've always understood the importance of setting goals, but it's such a big concept and it's really hard to kind of narrow it down and figure out how to achieve that end result. So this I've found is just a really nice way, and it makes it really easy to kind of plan everything out and set your goals for the week, and it just it's given me a lot of guidance and an opportunity to really like focus my energies in certain areas. And that she does have a blog. It's thesparknotebook.com, and you can order them through there, and she gives you a lot of there's some PDFs to like get you started and that sort of thing. So it's definitely provided me with a lot of guidance for the beginning of this year so far. So
Yeah, I think it's actually a very, very cool concept. So she's done a great job with that. All right, so magazines, guys, because everything can't be so serious, I guess. Magazines, Paleo Magazine is an awesome one. I love to cook, and I know a lot of you guys do too. It's just a great one that basically every single recipe that they have in there is not only tasty, but super healthy for you. And so, you know, whether it's a dessert or whether it's a breakfast or lunch or whatever, it's awesome. And it's very easy to make typically. You know, in the paleo cooking, there's literally about 50 different, you know, ingredients that account for the whole palette, or they account for the whole, you know, spectrum of what they talk about, and they're all tasty, and then any way you combine. Experienced Life, that's a cool one. Again, it's just a how to get the most out of life magazine. It's really I guess you say inspiring. Everything that they talk about in there is more of a holistic type of a concept. So there's no, you know, drug ads or, you know, things that you don't agree with. It's just actually very inspiring all around, and it's a cool one.
it's for women, I think, right?
It's for both, but I think it's geared. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's geared specifically towards women. Although I read it sometimes. What does it say about me? Success. Again, that book on the last page, Compound Effect. Darren Hardy. His magazine is called Success, and what he does literally is just highlights a certain person in the world who is extremely successful, who's typically famous. But really, what they do is they actually dig in on just the most successful businesses in the world, and they just break it up as far as what are these guys doing? You know, how do you create success within work and in your life, in all kinds of variables, in health and finance and business and everything. Again, it's a very easy read, and it's just very inspiring. Pathways to Family Wellness. We're well stocked over here. Again, a great one for families who are growing and looking to grow. All right. So next, create your own home health sanctuary. So right off the bat, my wife thought I was crazy when I first you know came to her with this idea. But really, what I wanted to do was, although we live in Boston, which typically is supposedly one of the cleanest water systems in America, there's actually
the world too, I've heard.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Well, you know what? I don't know if
somebody even boasted like what did they say? World top cities in the world. Or whatever.
I think you used the wrong word. I think it's not healthy, but I think it's actually tastiest. Is
Most
what they
potable?
said. Yeah, I think that's what it was. And so I don't know what that means, but what I do know is that if it's tap water, there's a lot of stuff in there that we shouldn't be drinking, right? And so basically what we have in our home is two separate home filters. We actually have a whole house filter, which takes out our organic compounds like pesticides, herbicides. It takes out chlorine and any kind of chlorine variable. It takes out, well, this is Boston, and it's the medical hub of America. It takes out medications, right, that are in the water sources. So basically, you know, when it comes down to, you know, all medications in a hospital, what they do is you think that there'd be a safe way to get rid of them. They literally dumb down the toilet. And so what that means here is that everybody is ingesting things like anxiety medication,
And the fish too.
birth control. It's in our waterways, and so basically these things are coming to us whether you realize it or not. And instead of going towards processed bottled water, what I strongly recommend is invest a little bit of money and set your house up as just this huge health bubble that you can spend a lot of time in. You know, every single day, Lee and I literally bring water back and forth. Although I've invested a lot in water for us and for you guys at the practice too, but it's totally worth it. Okay. But one thing that this doesn't take care of is something called fluoride. Okay, and fluoride, is it's kind of an old, old misnomer as far as fluoride being good for you. It's really not true whatsoever. The American Dental Association will tell you it's the greatest thing to prevent cavities. But what they do is they stop their thinking past the teeth, right? Because that fluoride, then that water is going to go right down into your body. And so once that happens, now it's a toxin, okay? And so fluoride through a reverse osmosis system, which is like $200, it's cheap, is going to take that out, and it's going to allow allow you to drink clean water. And basically, what you have is now you have water that's getting into your body that's been filtered like 8 times, which is pretty darn awesome, when you think about it.
Couldn't you do just the reverse osmosis to take care of the other?
Yeah. So if you rent and say you can't do a hookup like this, like a whole house filter or whatever, what you can do is a reverse osmosis. That still takes out fluoride. It still takes out some of the
That takes out everything though, because it's just right.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't.
Mm. So it doesn't take out things like the chlorine and the pharmaceuticals and things like that.
Oh, reverse osmosis.
It doesn't. No.
I thought it was like the most filtering. It strips out the most.
It does. And so the thing of it is that when you're drinking water, it is super important. But when it comes to the water that again is fed into that reverse osmosis system, or the water that you bathe in, the water that you bathe your kids in or yourselves in, know that it has volatile chemicals that actually once they come out of the shower, then they actually evaporate into the air, and now it becomes this kind of a environment. All right, so I know that's kind of a big thought, but trust me, this whole system costs like $1,300, and it's gonna literally just eliminate so many chemicals and so many toxins in your life.
Do you have it on shower heads and stuff?
No, because this is our whole house system. This is the same water that comes through our shower head, so it's hooked up to the inlet of wherever the water comes into your house.
And when he changes the filters, they're black.
Yeah, so this is Boston, and it's the cleanest system.
How often do you change
6 months.
6 months.
Every
So
6
does
months.
that still give off steam? Like when you put the filter in your whole house?
Yeah.
Like in there, I can have hard water.
Okay.
So you'll see the line or whatever. And the
Yeah.
So will that eliminate that?
It does. And so what they do is they have several different options. If you have like hard water, then they'll have like another little filter that you'll attach to that system. It's all comparatively inexpensive. If you have well water, there's a different thing that they give you. It's all. But this is kind of the basic system, and then whatever kind of water you have, you attach a couple different things up to it. So again, we're creating our home health sanctuary here. Essential oils are awesome. Really, what it comes down to it is that your brain actually reacts hugely on aromas in the environment. Your most strongest sense is your sense of smell. And so basically, what that does is it can and does change brain chemistry, and it changes your hormones and your endocrine system. Okay, so things like having orange or lemon oil in the air actually invigorates you, and it's been shown in clinical trials. Things like lavender on your pillow makes you just relax. Leah's been sleeping with lavender on her pillow for years.
Yeah. Take a bath with the lavender.
Yeah.
Okay, with Epsom salts.
Yeah.
It's Dr. Hyman's
Is it?
detox bath, but
Yeah.
Epsom salts, baking soda, and then some lavender essence.
Super simple, right?
Yeah.
It's super simple. And again, it's something very simple to invest in, and if you just have fun with it. It really helps you create a healthy environment. The last one is air filter. This is not the one that we have at our house, but the one that we have at our house isn't in circulation anymore. But this is the one that I'd be getting today if I had to buy one. And actually, I may be getting for the practice too. Rapid air filter. What this does is it takes out everything in the air less than like 0.3 microns in size, which is very, very small. And I didn't find with that myself. But really, what it is it's one of the best on the market. It's like $500. Again, it's comparatively very inexpensive for what's getting in your.
What is that? What's the maker? Is that the name?
Rabbit.
Oh, it's Rabbit.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I remember you brought it up because you live near the train,
Oh yeah.
and you were talking about everything that's emitted.
Yeah.
Yes. So living right here in this neighborhood for so many years, the thing that I observed is you don't have if something's dusty, and if you were to slide your finger, you don't have white dust. It's black.
That's sick, right?
And then we also see it like laying on our porch in our house and everything. And so I said, if that's in the house, what's it doing to my lungs? So I kind of live in a bubble in my place. I leave all the windows closed, and I always run the thing. You know, I have either AC, but I'm always running my filter. And plus, I need it for the white noise at nighttime.
Oh, it does that as well. Yeah. So again, something great to pick up, and again, comparatively inexpensive for what it's going to do for you and your health. It's going to pay off, huge dividends. I always say, when it comes down to something like these three things I just showed you, especially the two types of filters, it's a small investment for your health today, rather than paying hospital bills later and being sick. Okay.
Where does that go?
I'm sorry?
What is that air filter?
It actually could go on the wall.
It's just a standalone.
You mount it on the wall.
Oh, so it's just a standalone.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. So you mount it on the wall. It just needs a power source, and that's it. Yeah.
How big a space?
It's not that big, from what I understand.
What does it purify?
There's a couple different variations. There's one that actually, if it's a 750 square foot space, it'll change the air 4 times in an hour. Completely revamp the air in 4 times an hour, which is actually pretty powerful, especially for people with things like allergies and such. And they have other ones that are a little bit less heavy duty than that. And again, they're all about like $500 or so.
And you gotta switch the filter out like so often.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. It's usually every with ours, we've had it in there for like a year or two, and it's actually still good. The one that we have at our house, but this one I think is again about every 6 months or a year. Okay. All right, move your body at home. All right, so some of the things that some of the stresses or things that I've found that really proved to be hard for me was to get out to a gym regularly. And so what I did was I played my wife so that we can get this, a lot of the cool, expensive equipment at our house.
It's like, what is it this time?
And then so what I do recommend is this. Just a couple pieces of equipment are phenomenal, okay? And they're really, again, it's something that are comparatively for what they do to you, not that expensive. P90X is something that Lee and I just started doing, and I did it kind of just because we have a patient who does it, and she started talking about it, and she loves it, and I always kind of laughed at it over the years, but it's really pretty darn cool.
I see the infomercials.
Yeah, it's actually really cool, and the reason why I love it is not because it's popular, but really why I love it is because the movements that they do are actually very smart neurologically. And so what that means is that basically the things that they do, they probably don't even know that they're doing it, intentionally, but the things that actually they're doing are actually building your brain and triggering things in a really cool way. And they're getting you strong. And it's in half an hour, and it's in the middle of your living room. Okay,
what is that?
It's called P90X.
What is it?
Oh, I'm sorry. So it's a DVD. It's a workout.
program.
It's a workout program. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
That comes with 12 different ones.
It's like 12 different workouts, and it's just something so simple, but it's really cool, and we're having a fun time doing it. Everything from like yoga to Pilates to like strength training, mixed martial arts, like all kinds of cool things. So it's fun, and it changes up.
And it's only half an hour.
Yeah, and it is important too when you work out to change it up so that way it's fun. We had this conversation the other day, Claudette, and whatever you like to do, that's what you should do. If it's dancing, great, dance. If it's weightlifting, whatever it is, do it because that's gonna be the best for you. Okay. Bowflex adjustable weights. Again, weights are important. As much as fluid movements through yoga and things like that are great. It's also very important to actually build muscle mass and bone mass as if you're young or even as you age. Okay, so. These guys I think are like a couple $100, but they're totally worth it. You dial up from like 5 pounds all the way to like 50 pounds. And then other ones are 10 pounds to like 90 pounds. And so it's all just two sets of weights, but you dial them up and down. And so they become like,
So they grow with you.
They grow with you, thank you. Right here, Stroops are resistance bands that I love. Resistance bands that I love, they're very well made, and basically what they have is a nylon cover around it. That way, if God forbid it ever does snap, which it's never snapped, they're very well made. It's not going to snap you in the face and take out an eye.
Yeah, right.
So those are great. Rogue pull-up bar, or even they have the over the doorway bars. Again, just for normal pull-ups. One of the most important movements you can ever do for a guy, even a girl, is to literally just be able to pull yourself up and develop that kind of upper body strength. And they make it so easy. This, I think, runs, I don't know, maybe like $70 or something, but the ones at the store, the door wins are like $20, $25. So they're totally worth it. And then something I just came upon the other day, something called the Viper Roller. Again, it is important to make sure that your soft tissue is soft. And so what this is everybody knows rolling, your quads and your hamstrings. And are you familiar with that?
My sons do that.
Yeah, they're athletes. And so what it is it's what you do is making sure that your muscles are soft and pliable. That way you can work out longer. This one's kind of cool. It takes it to the next level. It actually has a vibrator in the middle, because as it vibrates, what it does is it actually loosens any kind of adhesions or any kind of tight muscle tone too, which is pretty neat. Okay. Next is treats. Ooh, this is everybody's favorite. So let's get going. Chocolate. All right. So the coolest thing that I discovered when I moved to Boston was Taza chocolate. And Taza chocolate's located in Somerville. They're an all organic, super pure, fair trade chocolate company who has really cool tours of the facility, but it's really, really tasty also. Last year we had a 5th anniversary party. We served all Taza chocolate and wine, and it went over huge. People loved it. And so we decided to share some with you guys tonight. All right. Another great one is even more accessible is something called Trader Joe's dark chocolate. As high as 75%. Make sure it's dark, because that's when it's as healthy for you as possible. Okay, so dark chocolate. You guys like ice cream?
Yeah.
Martha, do you like ice cream? What's your favorite ice cream?
Oh,
I know you eat sweets.
Vanilla.
my favorite?
Yeah.
Probably, I like vanilla.
Okay, very good. Well, how about you?
Coffee.
What's your favorite ice cream, Juan?
Flavor.
Yeah. I don't have any tonight. I'm not sorry. I'm just chocolate. All right. So Fumu, they are located both in Alston as well as JP, Jamaica Plain. They're a alternative to milk, a dairy alternative ice cream store. All of their ice creams are made with either coconut or almond milk, and they're all amazing. They're really, really, really good. They're all small batch, and they're really, really tasty. They got things like avocado, which is my favorite.
Avocado ice cream.
They've got bananas foster. They have things
Oh,
like
that sounds good. Thank you.
what's that one? You guys like Indian food?
Yeah.
Indian food. There's a dessert called is it called something pie? Starts with a B.
Oh yeah. Banaldi?
No, it's like Banff pie or something. Banff pie. Anyway, they have all kinds of really, really cool, unique flavors, and everything is actually very healthy, aside for the sugar in the ice cream. But besides that, everything's very healthy.
Yeah.
So Whole Foods they sell it in pints, right? Is that what
At Whole Foods? You know what, they used to have it at Whole Foods, but I don't think they have it there anymore. But they have, again, a store itself in Alston and a FOMU store in Jamaica Plain.
Actually, in Newton Center, JP lives. Now they serve coconut.
Oh, really?
They serve what is that? Hemp, and hemp.
Really?
Hemp milk.
Oh,
Yes.
no, gotcha.
Hemp milk and what is and soy.
Okay,
3 times,
Yeah.
3 kinds of ice cream.
that's good. That's
Very
good.
tasty.
That's good. Actually, that's funny. They're right down the street from JP lives in Jamaica Plain. And finally, again, for every so often, everybody loves a good glass of wine or a beer. And so, one of our favorite wines that Lee and I have discovered is something called Green Truck. It's a vineyard, of course, out of California, but awesome stuff. It's what you're drinking tonight. Green Truck. I'm sorry.
Very good again.
Yeah. It's the one you're drinking is called it's a Petite Syrah. It's awesome. All of the other stuff is really good. Another one is called Connoisseur, again out of California. Again, phenomenal. CONO Sir. If you're a beer drinker, a great gluten-free beer. Well, so when you guys drink beer, do you ever notice that you get a little
Full.
full and gassy and gross feeling? Okay. So that's what that is that's the gluten and that's the especially in the wheat beers and those are the hops. And so what especially the gluten. What Sylvia Sasan is it's a gluten-free beer. It's made with sorghum. Sorghum is actually a grass. It's in the grass family, they say, but it's actually it's completely gluten-free. But it's It's delicious as far as how it is, and it's a beer that you drink, and it's very, very tasty. It's a Belgian beer, but then you don't have any of that after full gassiness. Yeah, that's awesome. My new favorite is something called Fuel Cafe. So who likes organic coffee, and who likes stout beer?
Me.
Who likes organic coffee stout beer?
Oh yeah, I'm sure I will.
Hello.
It's so good.
It's amazing. It's out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They know beer up there, and it's one of my new favorites.
And it gives you
I
a
wonder
little
if you
caffeine.
get it down there.
Apparently it's right around the corner.
Down the road.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, you can
Beer
at the liquor
party.
store in Newton. Yeah, you can get it down the road.
Yeah.
Now those are popular. They just started popping up everywhere.
What's that?
Kombucha.
Kombucha, yeah.
Yeah.
So kombucha is awesome. I have some patients in the practice who they love to go home on the weekends or every night and have a drink, and sometimes 4 or 5 drinks. And so in my quest to get them to actually adopt something healthier, what I've told them is that kombucha tea is something that's not only hugely beneficial for your health, it's a fermented tea, but which hence the little bit of a buzz. But what it is it's hugely beneficial for everything. There's all kinds of different kombuchas. They have Leo and I were drinking one tonight. It's like a super green one. So chlorella, spirulina, some of the most high dense
They have that?
nutrients in the world. This is our favorite brand, by the way. What's it called? Organic Raw.
JT's.
Enlightened.
Or GT's.
GT's, yeah, very, very good. And it's on sale tonight at Whole Foods.
Actually, it wasn't.
Websites. All right. So one of our favorite websites, guys, is something called the EWG, the Environmental Working Group. An Environmental Working Group is a website you can go to that literally looks out for you. And I don't say that about very many things, but they actually do look out for you. When we were pregnant with Zoe, Leah found it as a huge resource to find out what was in cosmetics, if there's any toxins in cosmetics, things as far as what's in your water supply, and you type in your zip code, they tell you what's in your water supply, air supply.
Wow.
They tell you all about basically different movements going on within the community as far as outreach like forestry and things of that nature. It's a great resource. Cooking websites or blogs, I'm all over the board with that. Paleo Kitchen, Paleo LMG, Civilized Caveman are great ones. One called Play with Style is actually an excellent resource. Another one that, as far as just health related, Mercola.com. I know Meg knows about that. Mercola.com. He's actually an osteopath, a holistic osteopath out of Chicago, out of the Chicago area. Brilliant, and he's just very, very on top of it. He's always calling people out, and the people who are always trying to promote bad habits or behavior or legislation. He's always calling it out, and he's always looking out for people.
Well, you know what I will also add, what I like about him too is what I'm reading over here is he will change his stance on things as more information comes out and more
Exactly.
he'll say, I was supporting this, but now
He's not.
and here's the reason why, and there's these studies done, and
He's not too proud
references
to.
other guys.
Yeah, exactly, and that's very honorable. And then Pathways to Family Wellness. Again, that's the website or the magazine that I told you about before. Again, an excellent resource for new liberal families. Movies. Again, I had to find as many I can and to stick into this bubble. But we're a big documentary family. And one of the ones that we love is, well, let me start off with the most brilliant kids movie I've seen in a long time, Inside Out. You guys seen that? Inside Out.
So cute.
Have you seen it?
Didn't it win?
I think it's won a lot of different awards.
Or like Boston Golden Globes or something like that.
I'm not sure, but it's brilliant. The reason why I love it is because it has just a fun outlook on basically the neurology of humans, right? It actually goes through.
It's really cool.
It goes through, it goes through all the different emotions. All these little characters are different emotions in this little girl's brain, and it's pretty funny how they interact and how as the girl moves, from Iowa or Minneapolis to Oregon or something like that, how the emotions that go through her mind, and it's actually a very, very cool, very clever movie.
Could you get it on Hulu?
Yeah, they have all that. Yeah, red box.
It has a really positive message as far as like how dealing with emotions is okay, which especially in a society right now where you're often told like keep your composure, you shouldn't be crying, and it's a really positive message for kids as far as being able to handle your emotions and that it's okay to feel things. So I cried.
It's great. Yeah.
A couple times.
You know what? Honestly, if you know if you don't have kids or kids are out of the house, it doesn't matter. It's for adults too. It's especially for adults. There's some really funny parts in it.
We used Zoe as an excuse. We're like,
For
oh, we have to
yeah.
get it for Zoe.
Oh.
We watched it.
My roommate and I watched it.
Well, I know. I just
We didn't have a kid.
it got an award or something, right?
Yeah.
Was it last year? I don't know.
But you said you cried
Oh, she.
at the movie?
It's very good. It's very
There's
good.
some really
Yeah.
touching parts.
That's very good. All right, so moving on, a movie called, or these are all of our food documentaries. You see them, you know, we play them all day long over here, and we're going to start back up again. But movies like Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead 2, he goes through why it's so unhealthy to juice, and this guy loses weight, but he actually regains his health in all kinds of different ways. Really great one. GMO OMG really dissects the whole GMO industry, which is a cool one to find out about. King Corn, it's two guys from Boston who move out to Iowa. So kind of played on my background because I'm in Boston and I came from the Midwest. So they actually follow basically one crop of corn and where it goes to in the food supply. And so what they find is that literally it's like 85% of everything on the store shelves have corn in some way, shape, or form. And it's typically genetically modified corn. So it's a really cool one to take a look at to see exactly what that does for you.
In the form of hydrogenated oils.
Yeah. Hydrogen corn syrup, all kinds of stuff. Bot is a really cool one. It zings basically the whole understanding of big pharma, of vaccines, of kind of where that whole industry is. Everything is dead accurate. There's medical doctors from major institutions doing testimonials. It's a really cool movie. It's called Bot. The Truth About Cancer, a great documentary series that just was on maybe a couple months ago. But again, a guy named Ty Bollinger, he literally goes around the world interviewing some of the biggest authorities as far as health goes, and they really dissect as far as with one viewpoint on cancer and basically where cancer, just the whole kind of conversation around cancer. How as far as we're losing every single battle with cancer, why the questions we're asking are dead wrong, why the things we're doing to get ourselves out of cancer are completely wrong, and why and how we actually regain our health. Brilliant documentary. Restaurants. All right, so Lee and I basically eat most of our food at home. We found that basically every time we go out and treat ourselves, we feel like garbage afterwards. So these are the restaurants that actually do stack up to our rigorous.
I want to be like you when I grow up. That's so cool.
So basically, Be Good's a great one. So Be Good is a local New England chain. They pride themselves on sourcing everything locally. You go in the store and they're growing their own organic mint as you're walking up to the counter. Everything they have on the walls as far as where their beef comes from, their potatoes come from, everything comes from. It's all Vermont, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts. Grass-fed is another local chain right down the street from my favorite ice cream place, Foreman. Grass-fed burgers, phenomenal.
That's the name of the place? Grass-fed.
Grass-fed, that's it. Yeah, really good burgers.
In Rockland.
In Jamaica Plain. Jamaica Plain. Yeah, I think the locations are on there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I put the local area.
So we eat most of our food at home. So a lot of these things are kind of cheap foods. So whenever we cheat, we don't really cheat. Flatbreads is organic pizza. They're awesome, so good. They're out of Somerville. They have like 14 different locations, or like 6-7 locations or 7 different locations. But the most local one is Somerville. They actually have a bowling alley attached if you guys like to bowl.
Yeah.
But everything's organic and it's really tasty. So you guys should go. Sweet Greens is another one. It's a local one. They have them on Boylston Street.
Right by Wegmans.
And then they have one in Chestnut Hill. Yeah, very good. All organic salads. It's almost kind of like a sweet green. Sweet green. It's almost kind of like a Chipotle style where you go up to the counter and then they kind of make it in front of you and you walk down the line. But it's phenomenal. Really good creative stuff and not that expensive. Echo Pizza, the same thing. That's down in Boston, right by BU. Right.
Oh, by BU, yeah.
By BU.
I don't know.
Anyway,
It's on
organic pizza, delicious and local. Life Alive is a great place that Katie brought to my attention.
It's vegan, vegetarian, locally sourced. It's in Cambridge. There are a couple different. There's Cambridge, Lowell, and Salem. But it's phenomenal. My roommates and I will often make trips to Cambridge specifically for Life Alive. I'm sorry, I'm a buzzkill. It's
Sorry.
How come you don't have Chipotle?
That's pretty good.
Chipotle's great. Yeah, I just don't have it, but
Okay.
I love Chipotle. Chipotle actually caught a bad rap for this whole salmonella thing. There's actually a lot of investigation because the salmonella that was in the food was actually a very, very rare form that's never found in food. So what they're
Best conspiracy.
so what they're saying is So what they're saying is
Maybe that's okay.
no, she's hiding.
she's hiding.
So I know there's no new parents in here, but great products here. Everything from natural diapers that biodegrade very easily. To things like carriers that are essential for hormone proper hormone production as well as the health of the baby and the mom. Snuggle Be Organic is this little nest that Zoe just fell in love with, and she still throws her dolls in there now. It's this little nest that babies just kind of curl up to, and then all kinds of healthy lotions and stuff like that.
That's going way over.
Yeah, that's right. You don't need to know that. Personal hygiene. This is for everybody, hopefully. So one of the things that I've come to really do is explore a lot of different toothpastes. Some of the best that I found are something called Periobrite. This is the one that we use. It's awesome. It's totally natural, nothing artificial whatsoever. There's no fluoride, which you don't want in your toothpaste. Ava Anderson is actually a really cool company. She's it's a kind of a small niche kind of thing, but all organic ingredients, essential oils that she uses. It's not that expensive comparatively. Actually, a cool practice member of ours. She's awesome. She has her own company called Vital Balance Care, Natasha. And so she actually makes her soaps, and she makes all kinds of men's products and women's products and all kinds of cool things. And again, nothing but organic.
Where's that?
This one, it's called Vital Balance Care. It's actually a member of ours. She makes it herself. So if you're ever interested,
Oh, you don't have a storefront. You just
no,
have
she has a website. It's called Vital
oh.
Balance. Yeah, I can give. I think that's on
Okay.
the sheet. But she's great. Our soap that we use is called Kiss Your Face. It's olive oil and it's just like sea salt and I think 2 other ingredients, all natural stuff. We love Myers soaps, again, super natural, Everyman Jack. Again, when you talk about things like deodorants, you want to make sure that your deodorants have no aluminum in it. Aluminum is a red flag for things like causing breast cancers and all kinds of other cancers. But things like parabens, which are hormone disruptors. Parabens are basically, it mimics estrogen. And again, excessive estrogen in the body is known to produce things like cancers as well, even in men. And then coconut oil. I'm a big fan of oil pulling. You guys know what that is?
No.
Oil pulling. What oil pulling is, it's an old Ayurvedic type of a thing you do. Basically what you do is you take a tablespoon of a pure oil of some kind. I use coconut oil. And after you brush your teeth at night, okay, assuming you do, you take a tablespoon of coconut oil and you just swish it in your mouth for 15 minutes. And what that does is it actually kills bacteria. It actually whitens your teeth. If you have receding gums, it actually helps heal and regrow gums. It's totally accurate, and I've been doing it for like 3 months. And honestly, what I've noticed is that my teeth are no longer sensitive. I see a lot of positive changes.
So how much
Like
coconut oil you do?
like a tablespoon. A lot of tablespoons.
But isn't it like a lard? A coconut oil? How do you?
Well, you,
Oh, no,
you
so-
it melts in your mouth.
It melts in your mouth. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Once it goes in your mouth, it.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
You're right. It's hard. It's solid.
It's salt. Like how do you?
Salad, but you just
Oh,
like
you put it in your mouth,
take a
it
knife and
gets
just
soft.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, and then once it's in your mouth for like 4 seconds, it's liquid.
And
you
then
switch.
you swallow it? Or?
No, I'm sorry. So okay, do not swallow.
That's what that was going to be my question.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So that's great. So the reason why you don't swallow is because now it has a bunch of bacteria in it and things like that you want to get out. It's super healthy for you when you eat it, but when you swish it for 15 minutes, don't swallow.
So it's
Spit it in a toilet bowl.
how many minutes?
So it's 15 minutes, but start off with like a minute, and then build yourself up to about 15
It
minutes.
used to like make me gag at the beginning, so I had to work my way up.
Yeah.
So and then you just spit and obviously
Yeah.
don't rinse out after that.
Well, so you do,
want-
yeah. So
oh,
you do.
rinse
So
out.
so you spit in the toilet because it's oil and it'll clog your faucet. And I don't want to hear about how Dr. Rob's clogging your faucet. So you spit in the toilet, you flush it, and then you rinse your mouth out with water.
Is that good for kids?
It's great for everybody. Everybody. Yeah. Well, kids, make sure they don't. Well, you get swallowed. It's just oil. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I'm
great.
gonna try that. And do you find it whitens too?
It does.
Because I like.
It does. It does. Especially if you're a coffee drinker. Yeah. Dr. Rob's Everyday Essentials. These are things that I'm going to go home tonight. I'll tell you right now, and I have a big tablespoon of coconut oil or coconut butter, And I'm probably gonna follow that up with a
Almond
big
butter.
teaspoon of wild honey. That's just what I do. That's kind of my thing.
What is the first one?
Coconut butter.
Coconut.
I'm sorry, almond butter. I'm sorry.
Almond butter.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Almond butter is my favorite. Almonds are awesome because, well, they're just hugely nutrient dense. They're superior to peanuts. Peanuts are something that are not actually a nut, but they're not a good nut. They're not a good legume because there's actually something called aflatoxin. You don't want it in your system. So that's why peanuts are always cheaper than almond butters and cashew butter.
I have a little question.
Yeah.
So many of the almonds come from California.
Yeah.
And then they're pollinated by the same bee colonies
Yes.
that they take around and around that
Yes.
haven't been doing very well health-wise.
Yes.
So when they pollinate the flowers, how does that come to us through the almonds? Is it still okay to be eating as many almonds as we have had,
Because of
as
the
we did before?
decreased bees, or
Because the bees are unhealthy because they keep using the same ones and they don't allow, they're,
that's a great question. As far as
Is it
sustainability
good or
practices,
not good?
I'm not the expert on that.
we don't know, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But-
It's a common practice. I always
Yeah.
wondered about that too. But
Yeah,
what I can tell you, this has kind of been my thing over the past week, is that we've been eating almonds forever, and so I just
Yeah.
recently learned that almonds they're all treated in two different ways.
Yeah.
Either they're steam pasteurized, if you will, with about 200 degrees of heat, which is it kills some of the good nutrients, but it's better than the alternative of something called polypropylene oxide, which basically is a chemical that they just spray all over almonds, which preserves them also. But so you know that PPO, that chemical, it's actually been outlawed by, I think, like a racing association, because they use it in fuel for the cars and stuff like that, and it's that dangerous. So if you're ever gonna go for nuts, especially almonds,
Yeah.
make sure they're organic.
Yeah.
They're more expensive, but make sure that they're organic, because it will definitely benefit you. Those chemicals are basically, they're neurotoxins, and they're
you
and they
know,
cause
you
leukemia.
answered, you answered that very question I had the other day when I bought almonds. And I can't remember what I ended up buying. You know how some things are. You hear the dirty dozens. Or
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
so there's some food you really want to be cautious about buying organic versus other stuff, and I was thinking, well, almonds, are they? And I was
Yeah.
thinking, I'm thinking of the Grove. I'm like,
Yeah.
do they do anything to almonds
Yeah.
afterwards? And
Yeah, that's it. Almonds. You know what? Honestly, I'm a big fan of cashews and pecans, and the same thing. There's always get organic of those two. They're very heavily sprayed out of the other nuts, pecans and
cashews and pecans.
cashews. Yeah.
All organic.
All organic. Yeah. Avocado oil. Again, whenever you cook, whenever you use so. Assuming that we already know not to use vegetable oils or soy oil or things like that, the conversation starts eventually folds into I use olive oil. And although my grandmother would not agree with me, my old Italian grandmother and Leah's mother, who is of Greek descent, olive oil in itself, no matter what kind of olive oil it is, it becomes denatured and it actually becomes a carcinogen once it goes above 350. And so a great oil to cook with every single time that you cook, if you want an alternative to that, is going to be avocado oil. It virtually is flavorless. It stands up to high heat, and it's totally healthy for you. It's avocado. Yeah. Coconut oil, all the same. It's again another great cooking oil, and it's something that that stands up to very high heat. And I literally throw this in everything. Coconut oil goes into our smoothies. It goes into.
I find it has a flavor though. Sometimes I don't. It feels like sometimes that's
Yeah.
why I'm
Well, you gotta like
very
coconuts.
excited to learn about the avocado oil.
Yeah, you gotta like coconut. Well, I'll tell you what. So with coconuts also, that's something that that is extremely healthy for you too. That coconut oil and avocados. That's good healthy fat that you want as much of as you can. Okay, your brain is and your body, especially your brain, is built on fat. And one of my new favorites is going to be organic matcha. So I've taken myself away from coffee a little bit because I'm a huge organic coffee drinker. And I've gotten towards organic matcha, which is something that is phenomenal. Matcha is it's a young green tea leaf that's actually ground up, and it's actually very highly nutrient dense. It's awesome. You mix it with a little bit of organic wild honey, and you're good to go. Maybe a little bit of almond milk. Make a little latte out of
How
it.
does it taste?
It tastes like green tea, but then, like I said, you put a little honey in there and a little bit of, if you like green tea, good, you're golden. So that's great. And then you just stir it.
So it's a powdered green tea?
It's powdered, yeah. So you throw a little powder in.
Some of them are mixed with sugar though, so when you're looking for it, just be wary. Like if you go to Starbucks and order a green tea latte, it's got sugar. So
with boiling water, you have to.
Yeah. So you make it just like you normally would with tea, and then you just do it.
yeah, you just have to mix it up in the cup.
Thank you. My point to that. No, that's good. And Dr. Rob's gadgets. All right, so I'm a gadget guy. So basically, we bought a Vitamix. You guys know what a Vitamix is? Just a super high density blender. It's kind of like a Ninja. And basically, I use it every day. We use it every day. It costs a little bit, but it's phenomenal. Literally, everything that you put in there is so small and so blended together that it just goes down very very nicely, and it's just a very well, it's just a wonderful contraption. If you can afford it, I highly recommend it. NutriBullet is going to be the next one that I go to if I'm in a hurry. I just throw things on the NutriBullet, I zip it, and out the door.
I have a point.
Yeah.
NutriBullet, I got through 3 of them.
Really?
The technology is not very smart. It's getting broken.
Oh, really?
Very, but Ninja,
okay.
which is the same thing, yes.
Yeah.
And it has smart technology. It has a sensor, density sensor.
Oh, really?
So when you start the NutriBullet,
Yeah.
it just keeps growing.
Yeah.
But Ninja, it has some pulse.
Ah.
If it's too dense, it pulses
Pulses it?
first, and
Okay.
after that,
Burn out,
yeah,
Okay.
it's much smarter
Ah.
technology.
Well, I'll update this then. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next time, thank you. Juicer. So again, I love smoothies, but juicing is also a great way to get a lot of nutrients in you as fast as possible into your body. We don't have this one. I wish I did. But this is the one that again I will be probably getting in the next year or two. It's called a Harem Juicer. It's an Australian brand, I believe. And again, it's just super easy to clean. So this is it. When it comes to a juicer, the rule is you can't use it and clean it within, what do they say, about 4 minutes. You're never going to use it. So don't get it. And so if you get a juicer, make sure that it's something that they're known for being easy to clean, and that it's known for being for producing cold pressed juice, because that way. So there's a difference between cold pressed and centrifuge. Centrifuge is just it spins the heck out of it, and it creates heat, and so it actually kills bacteria. But this is actually a cold press. It's literally like just a mashing and churning of all the fruits and vegetables, which is what it's doing. And then finally, Lee and Zoe and I eat a lot of eggs. We're big egg fans, and so if you're going to eat eggs, which I really highly recommend you do, make sure that they're pastured, not pasteurized, but pastured, and they're organic. And then in order to make them as fast as possible, this little gadget is pretty cool. It's just like a little dome. It just steams them really fast. Like in 12 minutes, you set it, you do whatever you do, and then it just steams them to a perfect hard boil or a soft boil or whatever you want. That's our cool little gadget. Okay.
Never seen that one before.
So guys, that's the end of our presentation tonight. I really am happy that you decided to join us and invest in your health, and hopefully you gathered up 1 or 2 or 3 ideas to go home with.